what an unbelievable opportunity for all of us that are competitors in this game to be a part of the greatest rivalry in sports. And our guys are excited. I certainly am. I know our staff's excited, and everything that goes on this campus, and I know on the other one with the Corps of Cadets, the Brigade of Midshipmen, and all the shenanigans and everything that they pull all week. It's just a lot of fun. And what's most fun is being able to line up on Saturday afternoon and be able to play this great game, and the history of it, and the traditions that go along with it. They've got a very well coached, talented football team, and we know each other very well. Their team knows ours, and we know them, and we recruit the same guys, and we compete over the same things all the time. And it'll be the toughest game we've played all year. We know that, and so we're really trying to prepare for that. Just the physical contest that it'll be, and just the hard fought execution that's going to have to come out in order for us to win.
We'll start with Rich DeMarco.
Hey, Coach, now that the week is here, what's the prep going to be like this week? Is it a regular week? Can it be a regular week leading into Navy?
Yeah, it's a regular week. The way we prepare is a regular week. Just in terms of the way we schedule practices and schedule the periods and what we're doing in terms of interaction. Probably this week and last, more interaction between the offense and the defense than we typically have during the season. But obviously the uniqueness of the offense, I think it really helps our defense with the speed of the game, and certainly different than the scout team. Not that our scout team does a poor job. They've been trained in this offense and played in JV games and those kinds of things throughout the year. So they're able to execute pretty well. But it's different when you've got the players that are at the top of the depth chart going against each other. And so we're able to do that some. And really, we're trying to stay healthy. After 11 games and several weeks, our team's beat up. And I think there's just a tendency for teams in general to be fatigued physically. So we practiced hard last week. We took a couple of days off, practiced really hard last night. And then we'll just progress through this week, just like we have through the rest of the season in terms of our game week prep.
And Jeff, I know you fielded questions about this in the past, but playing the game at the Meadowlands, at MetLife Stadium, how much are you looking forward to that venue, another premier venue for your team to take the field?
To be able to play in a NFL stadium is really a privilege for our players and for all of us to be a part of that. Not every college football player, not every Power 5 player for that matter gets a chance to play in a stadium like this, in front of a crowd like this, and a TV audience like we'll have on Saturday. It's truly unique. And there are very few college football games, and there's very few college football players that get an opportunity to play in a game like this, in front of a crowd like this. There's not many games that have this kind of attention. So it's fantastic to be able to play in a first-class venue like that. And we're looking forward to it. And just, I've said it many times. I don't know that it would really matter where we play this game. I think the competition would be fierce, and there's going to be two teams fighting as hard as they can to win. But it's really neat to be able to do that in a stadium like MetLife.
Thanks, Coach.
Charles Grievous.
Good afternoon, Coach. On Saturday, as you just mentioned, you and your team will be participating in one of the most prestigious rivalry games in all of college sports, college football especially. Part of the uniqueness is the mission of both academies and the caliber of student athletes that attend both institutions. However, in my opinion, the landscape of college football is truly changing. I mean, I embrace economics 101, but in the past 72 hours, two high-profile coaching moves for over $100 million plus in compensation. So there's been a shift, and even the Notre Dame AD said the other day, what do we want out of college football? Does it still fit into the university environment? So as such, the Saturday's game against Navy come more special because the young men who are participating, especially given the uniqueness of today's college football culture.
I think college football is a great game, and I don't think there's any game like it. I think it's the best sport, and it really just exemplifies the spirit and the resiliency and the tenaciousness of our spirit as Americans. It's a great game, and I think that's why so many people in this country are so attracted to college football. There's a purity to it. They are college students that are fighting for the colors of their universities, and I think it's really special. It has a stage in sports, I think, like no other sport. And certainly other college sports are televised, and certainly college basketball and March Madness. I mean, who doesn't get excited when it's that time of year? But Saturdays in the fall and what they mean to college athletics and the universities that they represent is really special. And that's certainly the case with the Army-Navy game. The uniqueness of this game, and I think what really sets it apart, Charles, is each one of the players that's going to be playing in the game on Saturday and all of their classmates that are going to be cheering from the stands that they represent. When we're out there, we represent the Corps of Cadets. That is the Corps of Cadets on the field. And in large part, we represent the over 1 million men and women who serve in the United States Army. So there's much more at stake than just a team or an institution. And for every player on the field and for every one of their classmates in the stands, they've made a pledge to serve this nation and ultimately would give their lives in service to this nation. And that they're willing to do that for everybody that's watching, all 8 million people on TV and all 80,000 are sitting in the stands. And that makes it, I think, a really special rivalry and gives it a special place in college football. And I think a deserving national stage on the second Saturday in December to be able to showcase not only these young men on the field, but these two institutions and these two branches of service that mean so much to this country and to our freedom.
I agree completely. And my follow-up and final question, is there any one particular Navy offensive weapon that really concerns you going into Saturday's game?
There's a lot that concerns me about facing their offense. Number one, they're very well coached and very efficient. They control the clock. They're a disciplined football team. There are a number of players that I can mention by name that have made plays against us in past games that I've seen made plays throughout this season. And I think they're playing their best football right now. They've played as well on offense these last few games as they played all year. And to battle teams like Cincinnati and SMU, ranked teams to close games, to beat UCF. We know what kind of program they have, how talented they are. They've got a good football team. And it may not have shown up as much in their record as it has in years past, but I know the program that Kenny's built and the team that he has, and we know their players. And like I said, we recruited a whole lot of them. They recruited a lot of ours. So I think they've got plenty of weapons to be able to beat us. What we're going to have to do is execute very well on defense and play our assignments and play well fundamentally and tackle well and destroy blocks and all the things that it takes to win a game.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Ken Kreitzer.
Good afternoon, Coach. Ken Kreitzer, SAL Radio. Listening a little bit to Coach Ken's conference call last week, he talked quite a bit about his offensive slot back, Carlinos Acey. He's got 555 yards, getting about 50 yards a game. And also the young quarterback, the sophomore Ty Lavatai, who's played quite a bit in recent games. What's your thought about those players?
Acey's really talented and fast, and I've been impressed with him, not just this year, but in years past. I think he's an outstanding player, and he gets the ball on the edge, and they find ways to get it to him, whether they're pitching it to him or handing it to him or throwing it to him. And I think both of those quarterbacks have done a good job. Lavatai's been the guy that he's just such a strong physical runner. And that's, that those guys like that, you've seen in the past, the quarterbacks that Navy has used to be inside runners, running midline and run the zone option and those kinds of things, and the mileage they've gotten out of those and the success they've had. So he fits right in with the guys that they've had at that position, Zach Abey and guys like that.
And Coach John, actually at the media day last week, we got a chance to meet the Navy linebacker, Diego Fargo. Actually had him stand next to Nolan Cockrell. I thought he was a half an inch taller than Nolan. He's a big guy, but he's had 85 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. What do you see in his game, Diego Fargo?
Diego's an excellent player, and he probably is taller than Nolan. I've seen him obviously on an opposing sideline and playing against us these last 3 years, and it's be the fourth time we squared off against him. He's a good player, and I was talking to one of the coaches in that league, and I know that he's earned the respect of the coaches in that league, and just with the many good players that they have, he's a really good linebacker and one of the best that they have in the American Athletic Conference. So he's made a lot of plays against us in the past, and we got to find a way to get him blocked like we do all the rest of them. But he's a really good player and a tall, long athlete that I'm certain people are talking about him having a chance to play football beyond college. I'm certain that's probably going to be the case.
Yeah. Coach, I was just going to ask you, what's your key message to the team about focus, avoiding distractions? I got a lot of schoolwork this week, but just how to maintain focus going into this big game.
Well, I think with all the stuff that goes on down in the core, this is a big week for everybody at West Point, and there's a lot of events, and there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of shenanigans going on, and things at every meal, and just not to be distracted by it. Doesn't have anything to do with the game. It really doesn't affect the outcome of the game. So let's focus on the things that will have an outcome on the game, and that's really our attitude toward how we prepare and the effort that we put into it. So I think our guys are doing a good job. They're handling it really well, and our guys have been very professional about their approach each week, and that's probably just, I think, accelerated this week, that they've really got to focus on their job and what they can do to help us win.
Thanks, Coach.
Mitchell Northam.
Yeah, Coach. I was just kind of along the lines of focus and stuff. You guys found out your bowl assignment yesterday. This has kind of been often, these 5 of your past 6 seasons there. You kind of know your bowl assignment going into this game, the Navy game. Has it been challenging at all just to kind of keep the guys, one game at a time with the big end of December game kind of looming? I'm sure there was a lot of excitement yesterday knowing who you're going to face.
Our guys could care less about the bowl game, and when they knew, they read it online, they all got a phone, they knew before they got to the team meeting yesterday that we're going to be in a bowl game, and really it was just kind of matter of fact. We talked about it and said, hey, that's kind of off in the distance. We'll give you guys a schedule for what we're going to do in terms of the holidays and when you can go home, for the guys that aren't traveling and those kinds of things. And really, other than that, they didn't want to hear anything about it. They were ready to get on to getting prepared for Navy yesterday, and there wasn't any big celebration or jumping up and down or anything like that. Our guys knew they were going to be in a bowl game. We're bowl eligible. It was just a matter of finding out where we're going to go and then who we're going to play. But our guys could care less. There's one game in the whole world right now, and that's the one this Saturday, and that's all our guys really care about. It's all I really care about.
Thanks, Coach.
Ken McMillan.
Jeff, in all the years you've been coaching this game, is it easier for you to coach this game now, given all the circumstances around it, than it was when you first took over here at West Point?
Yeah, I think it's easier now. one, haven't had the experience of coaching in this game, but the other is I think we've got a better football team than we had when I got here. And, you know, we've had success and our guys are a lot more confident. It doesn't mean we're going to win the game Saturday. Just think we got a better team than we had. And so the preparation that makes it easier to feel like you're going to be able to, you know, go blow for blow with them, apples and apples and oranges, whatever. We feel like we got a team that can compete.
What would you say is the mindset of this team right now? I mean, gauge their preparedness.
I mean, we still got some work to do this week. I'm glad we got a couple of weeks to get ready for the game, but you know, determined to find a way to win. I don't know other than that. I think they feel a sense of spirit to try to get another victory. This is the last Army Navy game for our seniors. It's you know, it's for an outright CIC trophy championship, you know, to be the Commander-in-Chief's trophy champions and not have to share the trophy with anybody is certainly motivating. So, you know, our guys are going to fight really hard and do their best to try to win.
Also, over these past 7 years, do you feel like the pulse of the team changes as the week moves on, or, you know, do you want them rabid ready today, Monday?
Oh, we don't have to get anybody rabid ready today. There's going to be plenty of emotion. There always is in this game, and that'll come as we get closer to the game. The concentration is on execution, trying to fundamentally be as prepared as we can, assignment wise, so we don't make silly mistakes that can cost us that you know, we have complete control over. That's all we're trying to focus on right now.
What's the role of the captains this week for you? Do you find that they prove very valuable as the week goes on, and especially on game day?
They're valuable every day. I think anybody that's in a leadership position has the whether they're named a captain or they're named a coach, people in organizations who lead are vital to the success of the organization. And you know, they just keep guys focused and concentrating on their job and don't allow them to get distracted. They motivate the scout team, the young guys who aren't even going to be able to dress out for the game. You know, they keep them motivated and stress to them the importance of their job and how critical they are for the mission this week. So, you know, they can do that in a way that I can't, being a peer and being in the locker room, being a player alongside those guys. So they're really valuable, and I lean heavily on the captains and the other leaders in the program. They've done a great job all year, and I have no reason to believe they won't do a great job this week.
Also, in the last 7 games, do you find that Kenny pulls out something new on you each time?
I think there's some new stuff from both sides, and we've done the same. We've done some different things in this game that we hadn't done all year, and it's really just because they know us really, really well, and they've seen it all. Not that we're going to break out anything new, or they're going to break out anything new that either of us have never seen, but you can't prepare for everything. And so there's always something. And we seem to get that in these academy games. And so, you know, there's been some stuff and some good stuff that have given us trouble.
Any thoughts on the Navy defense?
Extremely well coached. They play their butts off. And they'll be as stingy as anybody we've faced this year in playing against our offense. All the different things that they do to try to disrupt our offense, and they have been very disruptive. I think Brian Newberry's an outstanding coach. He has a a great football mind and puts together a game plan for his team, for his coaches, that they can execute, and they execute it very well. Not just the way they defend us, but the way they defend everybody. He does a terrific job.
I imagine you're going to run the quarterbacks as usual.
Well, we expect he's going to have to run the ball some. I don't know if that, the game plan is to run him every single play, but he'll have to run some.
No, I was referring to your guys.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Ken Kreitzer,
Coach Ken, on his conference media call last week, talked about the changes he had to make in his offensive line during the course of the season. How do you feel about your offensive line going into this game? Do you feel like they're healthy at this point?
Yeah, keeping my fingers crossed that they can stay healthy, Ken. And we've had our bouts with some guys changing in and out of the lineup and moving guys from guard to center and tackle to guard and moving the pieces around. But hopefully we can stay healthy through this week and have our best guys to trot out there on Saturday.
Thanks, Coach.